Peace, everybody. It is the guy with the bow tie checking in with you live for another edition of Business with Benefits. I've been gone for a second, but I'm back now. To my right, you have the wonderful Katya. Hey, Katya, how you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. Great tunes to start the show.
No problem. I just watched that Beyonce movie Black is King, so I'm liking the music from the soundtrack, or the visual album, as they call it.
Excellent.
But let me catch up with the audience real quick. I want to say thank you to hashtag Team Live, hashtag Team Replay, however you consume the content. We appreciate it. And thank you guys for the warm wishes during my hiatus. I appreciate all the love. And to catch up with the comments real quick for people jumping in here, we had Rosalind say a nice intro. So thank you, Rosalind. She's a new viewer. Thanks for tuning in. And another cat, Catherine and Katya.
There you go. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
Excellent.
And then Deanna in Atlanta. Hey, Deanna, thanks for jumping on here. We got to do a Zoom call on Thursday. And then we have somebody in London. I can't see who it is, but thank you from across the pond. I appreciate that. Oh, that's Angela. I'm not going to butcher your last name, Angela. I'll just say Angela.
I will say Angela.
Right, I don't want to butcher the name. But thank you guys again for jumping in. So today we're going to talk about something a little bit fun. I found Katya through content, actually. Ronell Richards is a friend of mine. I could say now that we've kind of found each other through content. And he shared one of your videos a while ago. I can't even remember what the concept was, but I know it was kind of something about running a business. But then after that, I started seeing these workout videos. Like, what are these workout videos on LinkedIn? What is this about here? So I had to reach out to you and kind of talk more about it. So for the people that don't know who you are, let them know your day job and your LinkedIn job.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I call myself a chief fitness officer. So of course, because I do focus on being healthy, but healthy companies as well. So I'm a CFO by trade. I came up as being a CPA. But a couple of years ago, get to the point where the traditional corporate roles just weren't cutting it anymore. And really, I've been on a journey to use those skills as a CFO advisor. And really, my expertise is in system transformations and helping companies who need to go through those transformations. But like you and I talked about, at the end of the day, talking about our day jobs is not all, it's fascinating to me, but probably not as fascinating to everybody else out there. And so a lot of coming on LinkedIn for me was, as I call it, finding a new tribe of people and just getting beyond all the traditional boxes that life puts us in, right? Of what I'm supposed to be because I'm a CFO or I'm in finance, or what I'm supposed to be because I'm a mom, or what I'm supposed to be, in all these different boxes. And that's what I was just not having fun with. And I thought life is supposed to be more fun. That's what this journey has been, is sort of putting all those different people I'm supposed to be in all those different boxes and go, you know what? I'm still the same person in all those spaces. Right. And, started doing videos, and I didn't set out to do workout videos. I'm no Jane Fonda. Like, people are probably imagining like, oh my God, Jane Fonda, or like doing our workout videos. But it represented trying new things, as a finance professional. I got into my 40s and was kind of comfortable in, hey, I'm a pro, I'm an expert. Why do I have to learn new things? And then one day you realize and go, well, hang on, life's getting kind of dull. And I realized I hadn't been scared of anything in a very long time professionally. And that means you're not learning. And, the first thing that scared the living daylights out of me a couple of years ago was the thought of doing a video on here, which is probably kind of funny now because I think I look pretty comfortable on video.
Yeah, you look very comfortable on video now.
But I was fine talking in person, but the thought of doing a video was, I got a new coach, and we had all these goals for 90 days of learning and trying new things, because I'd wanted to write. So I started writing on LinkedIn, and the one goal that scared the living daylights out of me was doing a video. And I had put it on my chart for like 90 days. So it was a 90-day plan. It was day 89.
Oh, man.
But see, I wrote it on day one. And then I knew I could not have that goal looming over me for the next 89 days. It would drive me nuts. So I did it the very next morning, and I was terrified.
So let's back up to that real quick. So your first video was how long ago?
About 2 years, two and a bit.
Okay, and then the first workout video, that was how long? I know it wasn't 2 years ago.
Actually, the funny part was it was the day after.
Oh, really? Okay. So the interesting thing about that, because I hear often like, I'm scared of video, I'm not good on video, I would never do that. But you also said I'm wonderful in person. So was that what helped you get over the hump, was being like, I'm good at talking to people, so what's the big deal?
I think so. The thrill of punching through that first video, I was so scared, but I pushed myself to do it. I mean, I walked to the park and I was playing tunes of like, to psych myself up. There was like playing like Bruno Mars songs. Like at the time it was, whenever his big song was out. And I was so that, I guess whether it's the dopamine or whatever it is, I was so pumped up after doing it. And then the next day I thought, boy, I hated the fact that I'd probably looked terrified in my first video, and I didn't want that to be the image out there. And at the time I was doing boxing with my trainer. And so I'd be the first to admit, I wanted to put an image of me out there looking strong and brave, and doing something that I was proud of, not just talking about how terrified I was. And so I did that as a very second follow-up video. And then I didn't necessarily jump into workout videos the week after. I went back to writing articles because I'd sort of conquered my fear. Mm-hmm. But then when the idea came up later, I wasn't terrified anymore. And I think the workout videos started, in fact, because my trainer and I got to talking, and we realized, I thought, think about how many people are in the boat I was a few years ago, and where I was afraid to work out and I was out of shape and I was feeling so terrible. And because we talk every time we work out and train. Yeah. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to do a before and after? Because he had a bit of a clip of me boxing like the 2 years before. And wouldn't it be cool to do a Q&A? So it was really about how can we help your clients see a before and after? And so we shot this video. And then it just kind of grew. And then we started having fun, and then we started goofing around. And I think I had mentioned to you, so we did it for a while, and I really didn't know. I was like, how does this fit with me being a CFO? And I felt like I needed to make it fit. And then I was like, maybe I should go do this on Instagram. This isn't supposed to be on LinkedIn, right? Like there's these rules of what we're supposed to be and not supposed to be. And I thought about that. And I started an Instagram account because I wanted to play around with, and I was making photos and videos and doing content every day. And then I ended up taking a break for about 6 months on social media. My dad got sick. And he's doing just fine now. And I noticed, because when I came back on in the fall, some people came back to me and said, hey, are you going to do those fun workout videos again? And I thought, who the heck, 6 months in the world of social media is a lifetime. Right. And I thought, wait a minute, someone remembers what I was doing on LinkedIn 6 months ago? That's a real compliment.
That is. And considering that when you think CFO, you don't typically think fun, energetic, live. I mean, call a spade a spade. I mean, I'm an insurance guy. You and I fit in very much the same world that finance is a boring thing unless you're into finance, and it's just boring as all get out. Yep. But it's something that you put is part of your personality, and that brings an interesting comment that Brian Schulman put on here. Brian Schulman said, yes, love seeing you two voice your vibe together as you're going to be rapping and dancing and working out. So, Brian, I don't think so today.
All right. Oh, I was going to say my headphones. This is for Brian. There you go. I'm moving.
Brian,
I'll do the sideways dance for him. He always does the Friday dance. I love that guy who does the Friday dance
thing. Yeah.
I have no shame. See, I will dance. I will move. If these headphones weren't wired in, I'd be doing jumping jacks right now.
There you go. But it's good you do that, though, because you get to see more than you. I think LinkedIn for a long time became, let's just see your work side. And because of COVID-19, personal and business have blended together way more than usual. I was on a call with one of my agents, and then her son's in the background doing stuff, making noise. He's like 15, I think, or 14. And then my 2-year-old is running around the house. I'm chasing her around, talking on the phone. So you have to embrace the personal side with business now. But do you think that this pandemic has kind of helped you see that more clearly, that I need to do these more frequently because people need to see me more than my job?
I was lucky those messages I'd already been on this journey. So I'd say last winter, even before COVID, I'm working on building a finance consulting practice, and finance people are very conservative. So I think that nobody I work with ever sees any of my videos, right? Because they don't click, they don't like, they don't comment. So I sort of fell into this, it's this whole separate world, and I just do it for fun. And then as I would go out to see people, I started realizing over a little while, every single person I met for business started with, hey, I love your fitness videos.
Oh my God. Wait, it's funny you say that, because I was like, nobody insurance.
I was like, wait a minute, you've seen my fitness videos? Like,
yes.
because I like, you go look and see who's clicking and liking because you want to like meet people and get to know people.
Right.
So that what I realized was, finance people and people in this space are conservative.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But that doesn't mean they're not sitting there. They're all on their phones scrolling, right? We all are, whether we're watching YouTube videos. So I was like, well, if you want to watch my fitness videos instead of scrolling on YouTube, why not?
That's just interesting that you get that same experience in Canada. And then they give you guys gravity. I'm in Georgia. You're in Canada. Now that same experience that people there do the same thing. Like they never comment. Because I have plenty of insurance people in my connection list. And the same thing, I went to a meeting one time with somebody I'd never seen before in my life. And they're like, oh, I love your videos on LinkedIn. Who are you? Mm-hmm. But it's just interesting that that's a side of you that allows them to embrace you more. Because, I mean, for what you do, I would say being a CFO does have a lot of general things that all of them should do. There's like a lot of general traits that should be there. But you get an edge up on them because you're being non-traditional in a very traditional field. So have you seen that translate into, you mentioned seeing people, have you seen that translate to your clients getting closer to you or securing more business because you're more open online?
Well, I think part of this is still a journey for me in that, you're sitting there working on building a consulting business and then COVID strikes, right? Yep. So then it becomes, oh, hang on a second. Well, traditionally, my sweet spot is working on these big kind of transformation projects. Well, hang on, that's not what people are going to be doing in the middle of COVID. So I think what I was able to do more easily because of all of that was, just go, okay, how can I be of value right here and right now? And if we're not traveling and we're not in person and we're not going to go out and see clients, I think what LinkedIn really helped me do was go, what would help people right now? Because that's what we all focus on right here. If I'm going to put a workout video on, I am doing it for my own health. I genuinely am. Because let's just face it, I work out way harder if the camera's rolling than if it's not. And I noticed my workouts are way more fun if I'm filming because the movie producer in my head is sitting there thinking about what looks cool. And I distract the part of my brain that goes, wait a minute, this is hard work. I don't want to do this.
This hurts.
So it's totally self-serving. But when I'm creating a video, the ultimate compliment is someone says, you know what? I'm going to get up off the couch and I'm going to go for a walk. You've inspired me. That really warms my heart. So when COVID struck, it was okay. Suddenly being able to be online and using those skills of being able to be entertaining and getting people's attention is definitely a relevant skill. Mm-hmm. So I started creating new videos. I'd never done work videos before. But I created CFO Corner because I thought, well, maybe we can talk about finance stuff in the same way. And people need help. Suddenly, cash flow and forecasting is very relevant. It used to be the most boring topic on earth. So I just said, well, I'm going to start creating free little snippets of value and information to help people. So it's been less, so I've been, started doing webinars and training. And it's really helping me narrow down, what do I want to do in the future? Yeah. I have CFO clients, but part of this is just a journey to explore the new, right? Like, I don't know, I want to have a fitness show one day. That'd just be fun. Yeah. So I think it's exploring, I've got this, you've got the brain side and the make a living side and, solving problems, but there's this fun, let's go make the world a healthier place. And that's what I'm exploring on here. Like if I just wanted to make a buck, I didn't need to come on LinkedIn to make a living. Yeah. After 25 years experience, you can make a living if you work hard. Right. I want to make a living, but I want to have fun and have fun while I'm doing it and help make the world a better place. And that might sound corny, but that's what I want to be remembered for. Not, she fixed some systems.
I hear impact a lot in what you're saying too. It sounds like most of what you're saying is, making a living doesn't make an impact all the time. And yes, you're doing transformation projects, but that wasn't giving you that warm fuzzy you had to have. And then a good comment Rosalind had here, people need to hear this, the whole process, the fear, procrastination, execution. So basically getting out of your head and just trying things. And Catherine added, boxing is hard. Lots of hard work.
It is. Can I tell you? And what I didn't realize, I think one of the hardest things I did. So, I was, part of this journey was that I kept getting, it's not that I love transformation work, but I kept getting stuck in corporate environments that honestly didn't want to solve the real problems. And so then you start going, well, I'm getting a good paycheck. but here's all these problems of toxic culture or politics. And so then you go, okay, I got to go find a new job. Well, after I'd found a new job 3 times in a row, I started going, something's wrong in this process.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making a good living, but sometimes it's like, that's just not enough. Right.
Yeah.
And I think a real moment for me was when I came home, when I got into a conversation with I got 2 boys. My youngest is a girl. And my daughter said something like, but mommy, you never talk about your work. And I thought I was doing a really good job not bringing the negativity and politics and all the, the grown-up nonsense that came with the corporate world home.
Mm-hmm.
And to hear her say that, I thought, oh, like how terrible is that my kids have no idea what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm not painting a picture for them of chase, great kids, go chase your dreams. Yes, you'll, the money will follow. You'll follow your, like, I'm really good at all that inspiration stuff. And I thought, but they're not seeing me do it. And I didn't know what to do, but I knew what not to do, which was I can't go and just keep hoping I might find that one magical company where I'm going to be a good fit. Because I would go through all the processes of recruiting and answering all the right questions and thinking I'd found the one. And finally, I just said, I can't keep doing this because I'm selling my soul for a paycheck. And yeah, I got 3 kids to, we got 3 kids to raise, and I got bills like everybody else. But I just had to trust that that there had to be a better way. And for my kids, I was going to go find that better way, or at least try. Can always go get some contract work if I had to pay the bills, but I was going to go try and go have some fun. And now the other day I got to say to my daughter, honey, mommy's got a webinar, so basically all the guys all got to get out of the office. Oh, what's your webinar about? Well, I'm training people on forecasting. And she's like, but we're going to be live. So you guys got to be, oh, that's cool, Mom. Hey, Mom, you know about Twitch? You should go check out Twitch, Mom. And I'm like, I'm having a conversation with my kid and I'm relevant and we're talking about live technology. She sits at this very desk and steals my headphones because, she's 11 years old. She's off coding and building in Roblox. But, I was doing a series with Microsoft and I got to go tell my kids that I was going off to the Microsoft office and I was going to be shooting inside their green room and show them a picture. Man, my kids thought I was cool that day.
Bill Gates. Yeah.
Oh, personally, not a problem. Yeah. No.
Well, so with all that being said, I mean, this is a challenging time we're in with everything, and you're basically diversifying yourself. But as you work through this and making these new challenges, it seems like the fitness you're thinking about value for everybody but yourself. You're doing self-serving, but it's still, I kept hearing you say, what will be valuable to my audience? What will be valuable to my audience? So is that part of your process too, as you're making your other content? Because I know video has been talked about at length on LinkedIn, but to hear someone that's not like a 500,000 followers person is helpful for people to see, like, you can do a boring industry and make good video content. So when you sit down for CFO Corner, how do you start to be non-traditional in that space to make it fun for people to help them learn and get something out of it?
Well, I think because I think if you invest first, so again, I'd been on this platform for 2 years and I built skills, while I was doing it. So to me, the fitness is for other people, but don't get me wrong, I got a ton out of it because I've learned how to make videos. I've played around. And when you're sort of giving your stuff away, if you make mistakes or if it's not a perfect video, so what? Like, you're just trying to help people. And I think, but those skills have enabled me to turn around. And then, I decided to do CFO Corner on a Monday. By Tuesday or Wednesday, I'd shot my first episode, posted, and it was well received. And I'm teaching people how to do a forecast, but all of those skills that I had learned in making videos, because I do all my own editing, because it's fun. As an accountant, learning that creative aspect, I find fascinating. So I've also just been paying attention to, hey, wait a minute, you're just having fun and learning. So I am getting a lot out of it. The fact that that'll be a future, there'll be future benefits. So then, because I created my CFO Corner, now when I go and talk to people, I decided I was like, oh, I really love tech projects and what makes them work and not work well. So I took my CFO Corner, took about 10 episodes, and I can package them up and send them to people and go, hey, I like to make engaging content on finance. What do you guys think about this? So I went to a podcast company who focuses on finance people and packaged it up. And we went back and forth. And they said, our people really want to learn about ERP implementations. Oh, okay. That's cool. But then by the time we were talking about a 10-part series, and I thought, oh, this might be a little big to do by myself. But wait a minute. I've worked with the Microsoft team up here in Canada, and they have, obviously finance products, ERP to sell. But because I've done a speaking engagement with them before, so I went back to the marketing manager and said, hey, I'm looking at doing a podcast series on ERP, implementations. What if I make, again, I want to make a tech series that's interesting and engaging. Do you guys want to partner with me on this? They said yes. So now all of a sudden, I'm creating a tech series that I'm going to have Microsoft as a partner. We're going to, and then go back to a podcast company. I couldn't have done any of that if I hadn't been making fitness videos and gotten comfortable in creating content. So, to me, building these skills is taking me in a new direction. And now I've got this whole, kind of tech series mapped out for a podcast. And then I go, well, wait a minute, same content. This is sort of my life's work.
Right.
So now I'm like, well, why don't I write a book on it? Yeah, I can do that. Why don't I so that'll probably be what I spend the next year on is let's get, someone said to me the other day, in the same way, like you've shown people that fitness can be fun. Well, why can't I do the same thing? What do people like, what are their least favorite topics at work? Yep. Finance and IT.
Yes,
right.
Definitely. Yeah.
So maybe so I want to start taking those topics that people think they don't like, and maybe we can make them fun in like a few minutes at a time, educate, inspire, share knowledge. And along the way, I just, I have no doubt that if I follow that path and have a little bit more joy in all of this, that there will be ways, to make money as well. Right.
Yeah. I think we share the same spirit animal, Kat, because that was kind of my journey with, starting the rap on LinkedIn and do fun content. It was like, why not? It's something I like, and it's a boring topic, but it's something I'm passionate about is music. So that's why I try to incorporate that as well. Have you seen, I know you said most of the finance people don't tell you they watch the content, but have you ever gotten pushback from people that are in stuffy roles? Like, you can't do that. That's too personal. This is a business platform. Have you gotten pushback for that from people?
You know what? Not once.
There you go.
And that really, because I thought seriously for a while, well, maybe I'll pull back on the fitness stuff. And like I said, I just started realizing that everywhere I was going, that was the conversation piece. And so if anything, I think it's that people go, oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
But almost like I can't. And so really, I just want to show people, sure you can. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Well, and I think our kids, like I think having seeing, I know my kids are growing up like this, where it's just normal. Everything is online and fun videos. So you start going, that is where life is going. My daughter sits in and plays. She's sitting there building her future work world because she's already in a VR world.
Yep.
And so you start, because when you've got kids in that age bracket, you start going, this is where it's going.
Yep.
So, I think we can either get locked into older ways of thinking or just go, it sounds corny, but to me, age is a number. That's the other piece of why I try and do what I do. I want to show people that, there's no reason we can't be strong and working out. Like my workout video on Wednesday, because last week we got the idea and I was like, that's kind of cool. I'm going to Google, I'm going to order a set on Amazon. Yeah, fine. I got the foam versions because I don't want to die. But then I Googled it, looked up a YouTube video and went, how hard can this be? Because if I learned how to box, that's what I was going to say earlier, going in and signing up for boxing and then actually showing up to a boxing gym was most terrifying thing I ever did. But then once you break through, you're like, if I can learn how to box, like I spent 3 months training with an actual boxing trainer who trains professional fighters.
That's cool.
Yeah. Except the scariest thing I ever did was walk into that gym and go, this guy is going to look and go, what's soccer mom doing here? And what is she, just because she went to some boxercise class, like what? And I know that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I've done more than that. But part of you is going like, can I measure up? Can I survive?
Yeah, well, that shows the battle of the minds. Probably the hardest part for this. I mean, I think people think when they're going to get on content creation, they're thinking like, oh, they're going to think I'm just some guy in the basement with a camera versus the doctored up, polished thing. But it's just, you got to start somewhere. And Roz will put it there, not corny, beautiful. And Elizabeth said, wow, thanks, Elizabeth, for the comment there.
Oh, thank you. You know how many people come out and ask me, hey, how do you make your videos? Like there's some secret sauce.
Right.
I use a free app called InShot.
I've used InShot before, yep.
And I play.
Yep.
Like I've taken no training course, but will I spend hours? Like some weeks, it might be 4 hours to make one of my videos.
Yeah.
Now, is there an ROI on that? Nope. But but it's because for me, the ROI is because I'm truly fascinated. It's become my hobby. So I've traded, I'm not sitting there trading work time for that. I've traded TV time for that.
Right.
And now, so I can choose to make shorter, simpler videos.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When I've done those, and sometimes I have to remind myself, wait a minute, you don't have a tech team behind you. Just relax. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm guilty of wanting everything to be perfect and look just so.
Yeah.
But I do it
analytical side.
but I'm applying that in a creative space that is growing me as a person. And I'm learning to realize I've sort of got a producer's mind. Like we will be like, poor Shahab, I torture him. Like we're in our videos and I'll be like, stop, that looks good. And he'll be like, have the camera. I'm like, no, wrong angle, dude. Like flip, lighting's over there, back up over there. Like turn, that's a good song. That's going to be great in the video. Rewind that. We're going to do that again. And he's like, okay, whatever. I'm just trying to get you to do a workout.
Right. But it's a progression for that. I mean, even this live show has been me playing. I just got fascinated. I think that's the thing about traditional business roles is when you get into the creative, you start to notice like, what's this do? What's that doing? Will that be better? And that's where I found myself going.
Exactly.
I'm very creative when I'm like in relaxed mode, but when it's work mode, I'm analytical as heck. But I get to marry the two together. Like maybe if I change the coloring or maybe if I twist this or change the music, I think that's the benefit you have of being a traditional person going into non-traditional.
Yeah, like I already have. It's so funny. A lot of what I see on LinkedIn is, and I get it in coaching, is getting to people to be more disciplined and stick with your routines and and just follow through. And if you've been a super analytical, I've been in a disciplined profession my whole life, so there is no not doing the to-do list, not following through. What I wasn't doing was having fun and being creative and playing. And so all of this creative stuff and making videos is, you're learning and working hard, but in a very, using a different part of the brain. And I think that's super healthy. So it's sort of become hobby, work, all rolled into one.
Yeah.
And I just notice it's that feeling of joy where you go, you know what? Like when I get a video in at the end and I'm watching it just because I'm having so much fun because I made something that I think is cool, then good enough. And I hope other people enjoy it, but it's not, oh, let's try and get more views with this one. I mean, do I notice? Of course it's frustrating on that week where you put tons of work into something and you go, oh, the algorithm killed me today. Like squash me like a bug. And you're like, oh, you're killing me. But then, not always at the same time, but often enough, I'll get a DM from someone or a message that just says like, again, someone who didn't click but said, thank you for all those videos you do. Like it's inspiring or for whatever reason, like just seeing someone step out of the box. And often it's the people from my old corporate world who haven't stepped out of the box and just
That's good to see them say that. Cause I mean, they're trapped, like you said.
Isn't that sad that we talk about work in a way? It's like they're trapped. Like,
well, because of the way it's that business and personal, it's been totally isolated. Like, do not combine church and state and all those things. And it's certain things make sense for that, but
exactly. Like, I can't be an intelligent finance professional who was working on a spreadsheet 30 minutes ago because now we're sitting here talking about fitness videos. I mean, it's nonsense.
Right. Yes, I agree 1,000,000%.
And that's exactly what I was doing. I was sitting there building out cash flow models for a client, and it's like, put that aside and let's go talk about fitness. Well, why not? We're all people who have lives outside of our jobs. Exactly. And I do think that COVID has been really good for that, in the sense of, I hope the good bosses at least are having to become aware of, oh, you got a 2-year-old, under your desk, and people usually see Millie, my dog. If she didn't bark like a lunatic, she'd be here too. And I think that makes us brings out the humanity in people, right?
Yep, and Rosalind put on here, you got to start period talking about the videos.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth had a good comment. As a therapist, I've come to realize when someone has injury, the recovery is quicker than someone who has led a sedentary lifestyle. So it's good to see exercise.
Oh, So true. You know what? My dad is 75. He turned 76 this year. And he went from being super healthy, and all of a sudden one day he was in the hospital last year with no notice. And it's like, whoa, what happened? And suddenly needed triple bypass. So that's, 7 hours of heart surgery. And that is devastating at any age. And look, those first 6-7 weeks were rough. But 2 months later, because my dad has always walked, always been healthy, Mr. Moderation. And you know what? Within 3 months, he was up and running, and now, knock on wood, but he's good as new. And exercising changed my life. That's why I'm like that reformed smoker. Not that I was a smoker, but I laugh and tell people I'm so annoying about being so pumped up about exercise, because I wasn't. I was just like everybody else until 5 years ago. And my health was a wreck. I had no energy. I was exhausted. And I finally went, I'm actually sleeping. My kids are old enough that I'm sleeping again. I eat well, and I'm still exhausted all the time. And I don't know how to function without energy, but I had emptied the tanks, like total adrenal burnout. Like just, you run on empty for years and years and years. And then you go, oh, you mean the engine doesn't work forever if I don't take care of it?
You remember me when Rhino, I know I mentioned Rhino got us connected, but Rhino talked about that running on adrenaline for years and then just having a breakdown.
No, he and I have so much of the same story. And that's what I love about LinkedIn is you go, oh, wait a minute. We might look different and have different backgrounds, but oh my God, we've had the same path.
Yeah.
And what I want to do more of, because I'm guilty of, I show people the fun because I want people to have fun. But the reality is I exercise because my energy tank runs empty a lot. And the only way to put anything in the tank is to go and exercise and go have fun and go make videos. And that's how I fill the tank.
Yeah.
And so I don't work out because I have energy. I work out because I need energy. And that's what I want people to know is when I wake up in the morning, I feel like a ton of bricks is land on me half the time. And all I know is I got to do is I just got to put my walking shoes on. Like I don't I do the big fancy workouts twice a week, and every other day it's just get my running shoes on and I walk. I don't run. I hate running, but I walk, and I walk fast. I hate running
too. I'm with you.
And I put music on, and I find all like the highest energy, pumped up music. So you'll have to send me music lists, but I want like pumping music, and I go for a walk. And at the end of that, I feel like I can do anything. And so that's if I could get people to hear one message is it doesn't have to be big and fancy. Just move. Every day. Get
active.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting active, Matthew had asked about the app you use. Thank you guys in the comments for letting me know InShot. I use UCut. I've used InShot. They're both about the same thing. There's probably like 10 versions of InShot that are just copies.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's playing around with music. I have a lot of fun with the filters.
Yep.
It's realizing at first it used to be really hard to edit all the clips together. And now I've learned that if I do a couple workouts to the same song, it becomes a little easier. So if a song comes on that I like in my workout, we're like, oh, let's do a couple to this one because it'll be easier to edit. But often I don't plan anything out. The fun of the music and the lyrics is often what, for me, I love hamming it up for the camera. The first to admit it.
Yeah. I remember the one you did to work out the catwalk, the catwalk.
I'm holding weights and
yeah,
that stuff. And I think that's also because Shahab and I have been working out together for like over 5 years now. So that's trust. That's being in a safe space where like we feed off each other's energy and we'll say silly stuff. And yeah, it's the fun. It's the lyrics of the music. Like, so we've just figured out a formula that we know generally we have fun with.
Yeah.
He tries to push me to do more, I resist. And a lot of my fun is me distracting him so I can get an extra 30 seconds to catch my breath.
I've seen that, throwing stuff at him.
Totally. And now we've started to realize, if we can help, especially during COVID, if we can help put a smile on people's faces, I think we've definitely upped the ante on just having fun because we've realized people are enjoying it. And I think people need fun right now.
Yeah.
So now it's just becoming more and more unapologetically, how do we do something fun? How do we make people laugh? And then we have certain of our kind of loyal audience who we know like certain things, so we'll do it for them in the video. Right?
Just to ham it up a little bit.
Totally.
And Rosalind put in here too, my daily walk dissolves my headache. So you're right about the fitness helping you feel better.
And yeah. Well, I mean, awesome. And that exactly, like I started I got to a point in life where I had a choice. I was either going to have to make a doctor's appointment because, I mean, I had all the early signs, I mean, of arthritis. Every joint in my body ached. Listen, it started at 35. I had all the signs of fibromyalgia at 35. And I had to decide between MRIs and powerful anti-inflammatories. And we were starting to book all the appointments with rheumatologists. And I just thought, if I'm going down this medical path, that's the path I'm going to be on. Listen, I believe in medicine for acute things, but for chronic conditions, I'm like, I did this to myself. And I just decided I never went for the appointment for the MRI. And I said, you know what? I did this to myself and I'm going to undo this to myself, and got help and worked with a naturopath and just decided that I could control what went in my body, what I did with my body. So like I said, if I break my arm, trust me, I'm going to emerge and ask them, like, so I believe in medicine, but I do think that all these things we think we have no control over. And I was one of those people. I don't have time to exercise. I got to get up early. I got to get the kids for school. And I could rhyme you off the 37 things I had to do and therefore why I didn't have time. Well, I did that until my body said, okay, am I right now? You're going to make time for me now because
Right.
You can't walk. You can't move. You're in so much pain. I couldn't even keep up with my toddler. And I thought, all right, guess I got no choice now.
This is true.
And so now I just marvel at what I can get my body to do. I mean, this stuff hurts. Sure it does. But I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Oh, my knee hurts.
Temporary pain for a long-term gain.
Well, exactly. You know, I'm just, like I said, you start discovering all the things your body can do.
Yeah.
And it's really, we're training our minds. We're not training our bodies. We're training all the past habits and perceptions we have of what we must do or what we can do, right?
There's a t-shirt right there. A Katya's t-shirt moment from the interview.
I need some new workout t-shirts. Definitely. Anyone's got some suggestions, I'll take the links.
Some quotes from this and make a t-shirt out of it. Well, thank you for this positive conversation. I mean, the thing about this, we're both in boring spaces, but we try to make it fun for ourselves and for the people that watch that. And it's definitely helping you because I've noticed you because of that. For people that want to learn more about your fitness workouts, if you're going to make that show coming up, or learn more about your CFO work, what should they do?
Well, come check out, so I run, I've taken a little hiatus over the summer, but I'll be back soon with more CFO. So I go hashtag CFO Corner for all of my sort of finance and professional type videos. And on my profile is a bit more of what I actually do in terms of transformation projects. If someone's starting a project and needs help with a systems project, you can find me there. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. So come check me out. And I do fitness videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays under hashtag Let's Move. So if you need some inspiration, follow the hashtag, come check it out.
And if you're in Canada, you have to go check her out to get a workout in person.
Well, then I'll send you to Shahab because, he's the trainer. I'm just the victim.
Oh my gosh. And that's a good ending comment. Elizabeth put lack of movement can also affect mental health. So yeah, with COVID 100%. Being cooped up all day, you got to get active.
Yeah, I think it's my biggest piece of sanity has been just moving every day in these workout videos. It's absolutely kept me positive. So couldn't agree more.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for catching up with us. I know it's been a minute, but I appreciate you. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing Professionally Black. It's the second edition. I had to put it out quickly, but that's going to be, Rhino will be on there, Shara Jones, a lot of the people you know and
all the best.
LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
12 to 2 tomorrow. Same LinkedIn channel, same LinkedIn place. But it'll be tomorrow, 12 to 2. If you guys check us out. And Katya, thank you. Everybody make sure you follow her and engage her content and share this with someone that needs help with inspiration for movement, or if they just think, I'm in a boring space, I can't use LinkedIn, send them this video so they can see how two people do that on a consistent basis.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thanks, Katya.